Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Sane Minds. I know that everyone has been listening to the Kavanaugh allegations against him about the rape attempt, and Christine Ford, who is the professor, she's a teacher of clinical psychology. Funny enough, she's a registered Democrat, and she's made donations to leftist organizations. She's actually an activist, which only a small percentage of voters are activists. People who go out and actively engage in the process, like whether they go to rallies or donate to organizations. Now, the allegation is over 35 years old, which of course gives you pause, and the timing of it when Kavanaugh is trying to be nominated, or he was nominated, but he's trying to be confirmed for the Supreme Court. So the timing of it is very weird with how it's coming out right now after 35 years of this woman having the chance to bring this to light. Like I said, she's a Democratic activist, and that gives her a political motive. And not just a motive, but many people, especially people on the left, are impassioned with this. They're obsessed with this, and they don't want someone like Kavanaugh who can sway the balance of the Supreme Court to be nominated. So that gives me pause immediately as to if her story is true or not. Forget about the 65 women who have come out to write a letter stating that that in particular Kavanaugh has always treated women with decency and respect, as well as other things, but I'm not going to get into full details on that. But you have 65 women against this one woman who at the time was 15 years old. Kavanaugh was supposedly 17. But that you have a lot of discrepancies here. Not only do you have character discrepancies from 65 women who knew him in high school and, during college, that say that this is not, that's not his character at all. We've never seen anything like that. You also have Mark Judge, who's supposed to be the second boy that was in the room, the one who was looking out, I guess, because that's how it was. There was two of them allegedly in the room that they pushed her into a side room or something, and one of them, Mark Judge, is the one who was the lookout. He says that it was, quote, well, first of all, he denies that it ever happened, and I quote, he says that it was nuts, that this absolutely never happened. So there you have it from the only other person who's actually a witness in the assault or alleged assault, saying that this is completely nuts. It never happened. He also said that Judge Kavanaugh was never there. That he was never there at that party. And Christine Ford, she can't even remember, in particular, of what the date was, how she got to the party, whose house it was. She can't remember any of these. And she wants to point to a polygraph test, which apparently she took in August, administered by the FBI, that says that she's telling the truth about the sequence of events and what happened, even as vague as it is. Now, there's a reason why polygraph tests are inadmissible in court. It's because people, whether they mean to or not, like pathological liars, people who end up believing their own lies, can pass these tests. Because that's all it takes. It's just measuring your, heart rate, your breathing, other things like that. That's what it's measuring. So if you believe the story yourself, it's going to come back as you telling the truth, even if it's not true. As well as these polygraph tests just generally being not the most accurate. So I'm going to just write that part off. I mean, whether she took a polygraph or not, that just means that she believes herself. It doesn't mean that what she's saying is actually what happened. And, at first this letter was confidential. But then senators, apparently, that the letter was given to, leaked it to the media reporters, who then went on to Professor Ford's home and called her phone harassing her, trying to get her story. That's, in her words, the time when she decided to fully come out and give her name because she thought that her identity was being chipped away at. Anyway, okay, fair enough. But just the fact that she wanted to write into this to her Democratic senator and give her this letter and this account shows that this isn't. And now she's trying to say that she just wants to be, the bringer of truth. Like, it's her civic duty to bring everyone the truth of what happened. But that's not what this is about. She had 35 years to do something like this. Now, at a critical time in someone's life, she wants to come out and accuse somebody of life-shattering revelations, right? I mean, this is something that can completely screw up his career. Not only drag his name through the dirt, which apparently, until this point, it's been impeccable. So that's one thing right there. I mean, usually someone who's an abuser or, shows signs like that, they're not somebody who becomes a judge. Or if they are, they're someone that's going to have a blemished record, which he doesn't. So, to me, that just screams that this lady is either lying or she's, in her mind, maybe it did happen, right? But maybe this was somebody else. I mean, this was years ago. She says that Brett Kavanaugh was an acquaintance, I guess. Somebody who she knew in a friendly circle, but that doesn't mean that she's remembering things exactly how they went, because I'm going to assume, whether what she says, that she was drunk at this party as well. She says that everybody there was. Why would she be the only one not? That doesn't even make any sense. I mean, not many people go to a party to not partake in it. It's kind of the point. So, what does she really want to get out of this? Like, what does Ford expect to actually come of this allegation? The statute of limitations has already passed. It's long passed. There is no crime that he can actually be charged with at this point, even if you had full evidence of it, which we don't. We have people saying that this didn't happen, key witnesses. We have character references going back, dozens and dozens of women. And what does she have? The Democrats say, I believe her, she's a survivor, which I don't want to take anything away from people who actually have been assaulted or raped. That's terrible. But to just say that you're going to believe someone just because of what they're saying is maybe embarrassing. She has a lot to gain here, too. Not only is she a Democratic activist, and she has to gain that Brett Kavanaugh will not be confirmed for the Supreme Court and sway the outcomes of big, decisions, Supreme Court decisions. But so she has that political motivation already as an activist, somebody who's very much engaged in that. She's not just a neutral person or someone who's on the fence and I just vote this way because of this. Like, no. She's full force into it. So she has also a financial incentive. How many book deals do you think she's going to get? How much airtime do you think she's going to get? And paid for that airtime, too. There's a lot more incentives than just the political one here. So for people to say that, her life's going to be shattered or this and that, it's like, that's not generally, are people going to attack her online? I mean, she's already scrubbed her online account, which is kind of funny. Scrubbed her online presence, but that's, in this day and age, there's trolls everywhere. There's people that attack anyone and almost everyone. So for her to say that it wouldn't be worth it unless they're telling the truth, like, every accuser goes through the same type of thing. Like, maybe this is very high profile, but that doesn't mean that every accuser is right. Think of the chaos if we just believed anyone and everyone for a crime they said that someone committed. How many innocent people would be locked up? So just on that alone, I can't say that I believe her without a doubt like some of these Democrats do. And by the way, remember, it's the Democratic senators who leaked this story. They wanted this to come out. They wanted her identity to come out because they wanted her to testify against it. Obviously, they believe it, but that's also because they want to believe it. They wish it is true because that just helps them. So for someone to just say that she's correct, take a step back. See what's really going on. And people are also mad that the committee here, the Senate committee, wants to have her testify within like a week or so. And some people are saying, that's too fast. They're trying to rush this through. It's like, of course they are. Because this is just a one-off allegation from somebody who, before this, was very unknown. And this is a huge deal. Nominating or confirming someone for the Supreme Court. Why would you make this some lengthy process? And I'm sure that Judge Kavanaugh, he wants to get it done too. This is something that he knows isn't true. So I am very much inclined, not just because of my political leanings, but because of what evidence or lack of evidence there is, to say that he is telling the truth. That this did not happen. That he wasn't even there. Like I said, she can't even give you the date or the time or the house or how she got there or how she left. I mean, there's a lot of holes in all of this. And I'm sorry, that's just, we live in a country where there's the burden of proving something true, whether or not somebody's criminally indicted for it or arrested. But I just, it's one thing after the next. If it wasn't this, it'd be something else. They don't want this man to be confirmed. I know that somebody prodded this lady to do it. Whether she actually believes it happened or not is a whole nother story. But somebody prodded her to do this. This didn't just come about by itself. But yeah, that's basically what I wanted to speak about. Is just the craziness of all of it. This is Christine Blasey Ford's Twitter here, or some maybe one that someone created for her. But just look at the people that are posting here. Stop Trump. Do you believe Christine Blasey Ford was sexually assaulted by Kavanaugh? Please vote and then retweet. Let's show at real Donald Trump and hashtag America thinks about these accusations. Yes or no? Like, it's obviously just a popularity contest. People are going to say, yes, I agree with her, because they don't like Trump. They don't like Kavanaugh. They're not going to sit here and say that I agree or disagree based on the evidence and what is presented. This isn't a fair display of what happened at all. And it never has been for it. This is something that's politically motivated all the way around, or financially. So no, I don't believe her. I really don't. But alright, everybody, if you'd like some new content, just go ahead and like and subscribe. And as always, I appreciate it.